put your tinfoil hat on. Obviously, we know what we're about to ask. Why did they say he killed himself and there is no list? Obvious answer. I kind of like, no problem if you want to elaborate, if you have like theories behind the obvious answer, which is just Trump and his ties to Epstein. But like, is there any other reason? I just, dude, I can't even think of one. I can't even think of one. I just feel like Trump is such a behemoth and has such political capital. Even though he's spending it in dumb ways right now, I don't understand why he is like there's no way to spin this any better than they have to, instead of just saying like there's nothing there at all. You know, it's just, it blows me away. And I just can't put my finger on, like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I just can't put my finger on, like, what I feel. Because I'm an obvious hater of Trump. So true. So I'm no fan, but yeah. I just cannot.
Yeah, it's just, to me, there's definitely, I mean, you're certainly right that he's spending a lot of political capital right now on just being wish-washy about Epstein, which is not playing well to his base.
Not wish-washy. He keeps sending things out that's like, it's not, like, there's nothing there.
Well, yeah, now, yeah. You're right. He's just trying to fully shut it down.
Correct.
And he's taking a hit on a lot of his base for that, for that reason. So you have to ask yourself why, because he must know that this is a political loser. Like, what are you, outside of whether or not he's directly implicated?
He's always had a good flavor for what's going on in the air and can kind of twist in the wind. So I don't understand why he's just absolutely letting the wind cut him in half. I'm not sure I understand why.
It is weird, and my opinion is, outside of the obvious, like, well, he went to the island, he participated, which we don't know. Right. He certainly was on the flight logs.
Correct. There is some facts about his connections in the video, but go ahead.
Yeah. But beyond that, we don't know much besides that, like, they certainly...
That's why they need to release it. Go ahead.
Correct, right. But they were in the same social circles, and it's not a great look. But to me, the bigger thing here is, I bet you there are very powerful people who are sort of sending him messages like, hey, you need to shut down the Epstein stuff a little bit. You gotta just shut all that down. You think so?
I hear that all the time.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
I have seen reports, and I believe this shit, that Trump just, even in, like, top secret meetings, just takes calls on his cell phone from, like, anyone who has his fucking number. And I believe that. So in that sense, you know, is there a couple people dialing in? But how do you, so take me through then, if you think that's true, how they would communicate that. Do you think they would come out and say, like, I'm tied to this, don't do this? I don't think anybody would. So how do you communicate that? How do you nudge him if it's someone trying to nudge him, you know?
I think there's all sorts of back channels of people reaching out and contacting him. I think people are just being blunt, honestly. I mean,
yeah. And you know what? Now that I think about it, it's probably people who are like, yo, I'm in there, but, like, hey, I'm one of the ones that's innocent. If you release the names, and, like, who knows if they are? Let's see, you know. Innocent, by the way. Yeah. So that's one way I could see. Yeah, I guess so.
It is funny to me, though, because if they just didn't, if he just shut the fuck up about it, he could keep the status quo.
I don't, right? Exactly. He wasn't going to take any bullets if he shut the fuck up. You got it, dude.
That's why it's so weird, because he didn't do shit about Epstein in his first term. Epstein killed himself in 2019.
Well, his administration arrested him and was prosecuting him. But go ahead.
True. He dies in a federal prison. The Trump admin doesn't release anything. Like, he got away with not doing shit about Epstein.
Right.
Besides actually catching him, I suppose. But, like, the broader implications. Didn't do shit about that. Campaigns on doing it for his second term. And then now that we're here, he's totally trying to bury the lead, and I just don't know why. If he just shut the fuck up about it, I don't think there'd be a fuss. But Pam Bondi puts out, a memo that essentially states the Epstein position. He killed himself, there was no client list, right? Or something to that effect.
Yeah. Yep. exactly to that effect.
Why even put out a memo? Just say
was,
nothing. Why not just say nothing?
In the beautiful city that I live in, I was biking my ass home last night, and I was listening to something that was talking about how Kash Patel came out and forcefully said, like, there's nothing yesterday, too. Like, in a very... He's like, I serve at the president. There's nothing. I can't. I don't know what the fuck. He probably truthed it. God knows. Like, he'll try to find it. But yeah, they're forceful denials, man.
Well, but again, my thing is, why not just shut the fuck up about it? You probably would have been fine. But now that they're coming out and making a hard stance,
right?
It's
I don't know.
Weird. It's weird.
Dude, it's so weird. Dude, it's so weird. And I there's so many ways that we can say that we wish people would open their eyes to Trump being an absolute scam artist. But he's been pardoning like crypto criminals, like financial criminals. Like he's already been doing just like shit that like you would think the base, quote unquote, that he has. Which every time I see interviews with the base, 66% of them are on Medicaid. You would think that they would like care, but no, this is what they finally care about, which will still take when people get their eyes open to the debauchery that happens before them. But you know, you just wish it could be a little sooner, folks. You know,
you do wish it could be a little sooner.
Yeah,
I will
have to pay
say,
for go ahead, yeah.
The base is locked.
Here we go.
into Trump.
The conspiracy theories just aren't true, never have been. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States, @real Donald Trump, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me, is what he said yesterday. So he just says it's just aren't true. It's just not true. Okay. Anyways, go ahead, sorry. Oh, along those lines, I did have one more thing, too. And we've had the Vance tweet up for a while. But I wrote here, also, the same people who went around fanning the flames of Epstein now say nothing there. The Kash Patels, Dan Bonginos, and obviously the J.D. Vance here. So my issue is, like, why did you say it before with such certainty? And how is your only conclusion from that not they were just trying to get attention? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were banging that drum not that long ago for whatever reason, and now this is the conclusion, what were we banging the drum on before? You know, it's just obvious bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it makes me, you know, not come to like a final conclusion that everything they do is lies and all they do is are shitbags. No, but you don't. How do you trust these people? These people are just willing to say bullshit to get attention for whatever reason, whether it's a podcast or running for a Senate seat. And then, you know, tough. Open your eyes.
Well, can we, can I read what he truthed today? I don't know if you want me to share my screen, but
oh, yeah, go
that's
ahead.
Donald Trump.
Tell me
it's
when
a
you're sharing.
long one, dude. Oh, yeah, let me share.
Oh, boy. Is it yesterday's?
Is this yesterday's? Is this the one? Maybe it is yesterday's.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
it was yesterday's.
All right, it's the one where he's defending Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's such a weird...
Now, let's perform this exercise of reading it out loud. I suppose. Oh, you're already doing it. My bad.
So
I got you.
It really is so long. What's going on with my boys and in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration. The talk of the world.
Oh, the talk of the world. Sorry.
All over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. Which, by the way, bro, you literally campaigned on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicities to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan,
he's so scared. He's doing the same old with this stuff, but it's mind-blowing because right-wing media has lapped this shit up like manna from heaven for years. And now it's like, what the hell? Go ahead, sorry. We have to comment as you go because it's insane.
And the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton / Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. So, I'm sorry, is he just fully saying nothing's there's nothing to see here about Epstein then.
Correct, and even blaming it on the radical left. By the way, amazing. So that means Hunter Biden's laptop. He wrote the Epstein files on that laptop.
Hunter Biden wrote the Epstein files.
Like, that laptop's crazy, and then ended up somehow in a MAGA computer store. Okay,
Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? Which, to be fair, if there is something in these Epstein files, that's certainly a question.
Yeah, but that's the
ask.
point. We have so many smooth brains that believed these guys would be different than the Democrats on this. No, they're the same.
Right. If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? They haven't even given up on the JFK or Martin Luther King Jr. files. Who is he referring to?
I don't
really understand.
Dude, I have no idea. All I know is that I think at least once there was fanfare in his first administration. They declassified JFK files, and then immediately when he took office again, and I knew this is just them pandering to their like conspiracy theorist base. They were like, "We're gonna release more," and it's like, "But you did this in the first term, so like, what did you save that now you're gonna?" Go ahead.
Sure, it's a valid question to ask. Were there more file cabinets discovered? What are we doing?
Right.
No matter how much success we've had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, it's never enough for some people. We're about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years.
It's so weak.
What a
It's
weirdly
such
specific.
Weak language. Like, just because
we
it's
have so much more
obviously
to
not
do.
true. It's so obviously not true. But go ahead.
It couldn't possibly be true. Right? Like, I don't care what you're doing. More than 100 years
Dude,
of...
imagine us being younger, signing up for a MySpace account and, like, giggling and, like, connecting with people. Imagine thinking that one day one of these sites, the president would use it to spread absolute propaganda. The ones that you just read in your textbooks in history class, you know what I'm saying? Why you, like, sign up for MySpace. The wild world that's out there. Go ahead.
Which, by the way, just as an aside, the fact that I have to sign up for a profile to see what POTUS is currently, like, communicating with the world
free speech
should genuinely be a lawsuit. That should actually be a lawsuit. You are POTUS. There should be no...
If you sign up for my company.
That pisses me off. That fucking actually pisses me off.
Hey,
That
someone
is a
tell
lawsuit,
Trump.
but-
Someone tell Trump to sell his peanut farm. What a dirtball. Go ahead.
We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding.
Oh my
Kash
God.
Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, okay, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead
They're
of
just
spending
mad a
month
lot of
after
money
month
goes through
looking at
that.
nothing. Okay, well, I didn't know if there's actually anything. Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not going to assume good faith on anything he says. To be
That is
fair,
correct.
but.
That's correct.
Instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her
And
job.
on Hunter
She's
Biden's
great.
laptop.
Something about 2020 being rigged. 1 year ago, country was dead. We're the hottest in the world. Let's not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein. Time and energy caps for some reason. Capitalized.
Dude, also
Jeffrey
hottest
Epstein.
in quotes, but all caps. It's just like, what are we doing here? I don't. This man writes like a fucking 13-year-old in their diary, bro. It's unbelievable. That's honestly what, like, adults who, like, abuse social media, let's not be mean, but adults who just, like, tweet out hundreds of times a day. It's like, you're just a 13-year-old.
I do.
That's what you're doing. You're diarying your life, and that's fine. But it's a little weird.
Yeah. And I know that this makes me a bit of an old person, this mentality, but anybody that is engaging with social media more than like 10 times a day, I don't trust you as a person. I just have to say that. Like, if you're posting opinions...
I think that's fair. And I also think
pictures
those people need to
10+
watch out for
times
their
a day.
mental health. Go ahead. Sorry.
True, I agree. It's just not... You're living in a weird space, and it's not a real space, and you need to get out of there.
You hear that, Elon?
You don't have to get out of there entirely.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Elon.
true.
Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, this is incredible, and I gotta say, I didn't read the entirety of this truth until now. But that's insane.
Sometimes reading it out too forces you to actually like engage with, because like if I see this on a post, I'm not on Truth. Nobody's on Truth. Well, now you are. Congratulations. But if I see this on a post on like Reddit, I read the first sentence and a half, and then I'm just like, I stop, because I'm just like, it's the same shit it always is. But if you actually force yourself to read it, it's truly a trip. It's truly a trip.
Whoa. Now I gotta say, because before I would jump on Truth just to see what Trump was tweeting. Never had an account. Didn't need one, but I couldn't see the comments as a result. I can see the comments now. And people are not happy. Wow. Yo, this is crazy.
Half of these are
Not
Russian
one
bots.
of these, for sure. For sure,
Because
but you
Russia
know Trump
would still
sees
have an
this.
interest in fanning the flames of the conspiracy itself. They still would. But yeah, no, it's not all fake people. No doubt.
And it's not one positive sentiment.
That's a tough
That's
world out
pretty crazy. Anyways, let's not go down that rabbit hole, because that's just... Truth is just full of the worst people in the world.
True.
So that's incredible. I don't really know what to do with that information, but it's not a good look. And it's hilarious to me, the level of hypocrisy. The amount of, like, clips and tweets that you can pull up of everybody on the right, people, like, here with the J.D. Vance tweet, people in his administration, just harping on about Epstein, and the second they actually have the levers of power, nothing to see here. That's crazy.
And I just... It's always fun to talk about why, and how this is happening, but I just wish people would open their eyes. You know, it's tough. It's a tough world out there. And we got too many people that are just excusing the most blatant hypocrisy you've ever seen just because they feel like they're never supposed to like the other side. They're supposed to hate it, which is, like, stupid. That's not even true. That's bad.
Yeah.
So, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. All right.
It's loyalty out of spite, regardless of what your side does. That is the worst form of political.
Bad. It leads to it leads to authoritarianism. It's bad.
True. It's bad. Don't do it, folks.
All right.
Listen, country over party. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that here? Country over party, please.
Country over party. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't be an ass to like other humans that aren't your country. It gets tricky, but you're not wrong. Okay.
Sure.
The big beautiful bill, and the one thing that annoys the shit out of me, has always annoyed the shit out of me, and I am so tired of it. And it's the discussion that's always around the deficit, which is fine and fair. I think even on one of our Who Cares Nobody's Here recordings, you asked me, like, you were like, but you do, like, worry about the deficit in some capacity. I'm like, sure, of course, it's bad. But every time we talk about the deficit, there's never, ever, ever the discussion of how, like, you should raise taxes to fix it. Never. So you just feel like you get the Democrats who come in who are like, hey, let's do social programs, let's do things to boost whatever, like chips manufacturing or building infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. But then they never get the stomach to actually raise taxes on rich people because they are bought and paid for turd burglars. Okay, and then we get Republicans in, and then they'll just, like, I guess they did cut spending, but they just cut taxes so much that it gasses it up too. So I just feel like no matter who's in office, I don't even feel like all the bad faith conversations, even on the internet, I barely ever hear just like, you're gonna like raise taxes. What are we doing? And I get so fucking annoyed. Bernie was on Joe Rogan recently, and he was also on Joe Rogan in the past, and other, like, let's just call the people on the left as a catch-all, have been on in the past and have explained to someone like Joe Rogan, and I'm sure this happens to a lot of people in a lot of areas of the country, they've had to explain to Joe Rogan more than one time, as if he forgets, that the progressive tax rate, if we say 90% is taxed at 5 million and more, the amount of, like, I think Joe Rogan every time is like, oh, you're going to tax all my money at 90%. It's like, oh my God, sit down, take a deep breath. It means once you've earned $5 million, everything after that is taxed at 90%.
You know what? Not for
and I'm not
nothing,
saying I
though.
support that. I'm just saying, like, let's understand. Go ahead. Yeah. I just get so annoyed. We can raise taxes. We can do it in a way that doesn't hurt people that it shouldn't hurt. It can, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, not for nothing, Joe Rogan makes enough to where most of his money comes after 5 million. So he would be.
Sure, and if you're not parsing through the numbers, you can feel a certain way. That's fine. But by the way, not in this country. Maybe if you lived in Finland, but in this country, it's only like third. I don't even know what the highest tax rate. It's like maybe it's 40.
Oh, it's I don't even think it's 40.
I'm not sure. I think it's just under 40. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Other countries are worse. Other countries might even be better. Like, whatever. But that's what it is here. And I feel like the devil's always in how we explain things, and especially when it comes to the deficit, you have people just kind of wording things in the way they want for their own cause. But if you sit down, I bet you could get at least 6 out of 10 people, any 6 out of 10 people you grab, and you explain to them, like, we're gonna raise taxes on the haves, on the mega haves. And if you do that, you could even sell cuts of efficiency and this and that. Like, dude, people on the left aren't opposed to that. That's so ridiculous that it's like, So I feel like you get a majority of people, explain to them, like, you could raise taxes on the haves, meaning like you made $10 million this year. Okay, every cent after that 90%, suck my balls. You made $10 million, like, and then. That would be so popular, you could even, like, cut some things in a way that would still, like, be more popular than the shit slop we always get. You don't think so? I feel like it would be. If you could, like, get people to understand that it's, like, rich people are going to pay a little more. Like.
Right. Yeah, it is kind of crazy to me that it's never part of the conversation. To be fair, I think talking about raising taxes in any form is really politically, I suppose, a political liability if you talk about raising taxes at all.
Two things are true here. I can say that's fair, and that sucks, but go ahead.
No, I agree it sucks. But you have to sell the idea, right? I mean,
yes,
unless
but if
you're
people
proposing...
don't understand the... Go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. I'm just saying, unless you're explicitly proposing above a certain threshold, it's really... I remember Bernie had a moment, I think it was when he was campaigning in 2016, and he was talking about universal health care, and point blank he got asked at a town hall, I think it was maybe MSNBC, which of course it was, considering what he was asked, but they were essentially like, our tax is going to go up because of universal health care. And he led with, yes, they will.
He shouldn't
have.
He shouldn't have.
Correct.
Because you overpay for insurance anyway, so I don't even know that it would be so different for most of us. Right. Yep.
Right. He said, but essentially if you take out what you're paying for insurance plus what insurance isn't covering, you will be made whole and then some in a universal healthcare system.
Yeah, but
the fact that he led with yes at all was like immediately, MSNBC is blasting that clip. You know what I mean? Sort of just, he's going to raise your taxes.
From the centrist Democrat area to kind of crush them.
From the lovely folks over at MSNBC. But yeah, so it's, what does a business do when they are underwater? They raise revenue. How do you raise revenue if you're the government? You raise taxes. Like, that is just full stop, period, the entire conversation, and we just never talk about it.
And if you ever sit down in good faith with someone about it, you could find ways that you still wouldn't have high taxes on, like, small businesses. Like, nobody wants that. Nobody wants high taxes on small businesses. Nobody wants high taxes on poor people. Like, who fucking wants? Nobody wants that. On
corporations and billionaires. That's what you do.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
And that's where like, you ask yourself out there, am I populist left? You're populist left if you believe that, like, poor people and small businesses should actually pay, like, almost effectively no taxes because there's enough to go around. You still have to do the math, but let's say in theory, how about? You still have to do the math. But in theory, if there's enough to go around and you can skim off the top,
Right.
then like why the fuck would you hit small businesses and poor people? It makes no sense. So yeah.
Right. Well, because Cyril, you misunderstand. The people at the top actually pay money to write our laws, so it gets complicated.
No, I understand that. Citizen,
It gets very
no
complicated.
matter what discussion we're doing, there's always a way, and you do it often, which is beautiful, to bring it back to Citizens United. It's so true. It's so true. I think
it is
anybody
it
who
is the
thinks too
sickness-
much. Yeah.
It's the rot at the heart of our democracy. But go ahead.
And anybody that thinks too much about this shit, like we do, it's always like, if not the number one of the biggest things. Like you gotta change it.
Yeah.
You gotta change it.
You know what really pisses me off though, and this is Trump's original. So this this budget they passed extended his tax cuts from 2016, and notably, or 2017,
made them
whatever that
permanent
first-
for
made them permanent.
certain entities and
Correct.
wealth status.
Which
people.
is this is what pisses me off. So they passed their tax cuts in 2017, and the tax cuts were, first of all, they were set to expire
for the middle
right.
class. Yep.
for the middle class, and they were sunsetted over the next 4 years for the middle class, so that by the time those tax cuts were fully expiring, do you know who would be feeling the pinch?
Yeah, they line
Is
it
the
all
next
up. Same
person
thing with
in office.
same thing with Medicaid. I think the cuts don't kick in until like 2028.
Isn't that just so fucking shameless?
It's so
Doesn't
shameless.
That should
Because there's a, I don't know what. Oh, More Perfect Union is an excellent YouTube channel. They just interview like regular people, talk to them, and they really try to like. They don't push a narrative, but you can tell they're trying to fight a good fight by just chatting with people and asking the right questions. Dude, they went to Louisiana, and like everybody was like, I voted. They went to some rural, like probably a poor community. I'm sure they didn't like pick the wealthy community. Obviously, when you hear what I say, every person was like, I voted for Trump, and I'm on Medicaid. And it's like, oh boy, like that's crazy because they fucked you. Now it's in 2028 when I think people will start to feel it. I'm not sure. I have to look at it more deep, but
wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
It's that shameless political calculation. And then it's funny too because every single time the benefit that doesn't expire is obviously the one that benefits the top 1% of people. Every single
now they lock
fucking
those
time.
in. Yep. Now they lock those
Right. Those are
in. And
those
if
are permanent.
you
Those can
asked
stay.
young Psy, like trickle down is still going to be something that's written into bills and passed when you're like 33. I would be like, what? Because I remember like watching and being a little plugged in, even around like 18, let's say 18, 19, and feeling like and kind of feeling to myself like trickle down is a crock of shit. And here we are. We're still passing it, Because like back then too, as a younger person, you feel like, oh, like as we age, you'd think, it could only get better. Very naive. That shit is, not we know what we know now, but
I do think
it's crazy.
I do think a post MAGA era where millennials are the biggest voting bloc, you will see a shift.
Yes, but it doesn't
away
mean more
from trickle
Democrats.
No, it doesn't.
I
but
agree
I think
with that. I agree with that.
there is a populist grumblings on both
Yes,
sides.
because
where
by the
I've
way,
seen
fuck
a lot
you,
of
Trump. You don't represent trickle down, and you got elected. Go ahead. Yep.
What do you mean he doesn't represent trickle
Like
down?
he represented economics of I want to keep Medicare and Social Security. He even said Medicaid like a dumbass, and this party passes it. But you know what I mean? Like the things he says. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but that's all just lip service.
It's bluster,
right?
no
I mean,
doubt. But he would say like keep your jobs, those that were shipped
Would,
away, keep the social safety net. Go ahead.
Yeah, which obviously is insincere, and I think his supporters are sort of growing wise to that. I've seen some grumblings about this big beautiful bill from certain pockets,
Sure.
especially because of the Medicare stuff, the
Medicaid?
SNAP stuff.
Medicaid,
Medicaid.
and SNAP, yeah.
So we'll see, but it's just crazy to me that they get to just be wildly hypocritical about actually this is the party of fiscal responsibility. They are at a minimum adding $3 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years.
Yeah. And they're doing it to cut taxes And to offset
for wealthy.
some of it, they're taking away healthcare from the least of us.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Also, can we be clear? The Joe Biden administration, when him and his Democrats passed the Inflation Reduction Act, that was paid for.
Correct.
That was paid for.
Correct.
This is not paid for. So
Correct.
I just feel like
Correct.
if anybody can claim fiscal responsibility, I just cannot believe
The
that
one thing that
Republicans
Democrats
are allowed
miss is hammering away on taxing the haves. And it goes back to what you said. It is a tricky thing to navigate. It is something that we need to do to not have a fucking deficit. That is true. But as far as politics go, you're right that I don't even know that you could message it good enough to where it's not underwater. But it should be. Like, that sucks. And you tell me what that means for the deficit. Anyways, not good things.
Sorry, I'm just making sure I didn't misspeak. Carry on.
Misspeak? What are you looking at?
I didn't know if it was the Inflation Reduction Act that was paid for.
Yes,
bill
I think
that-
that's correct. Was it? I think most of I think the point still stands that, like, you tell me which party would even
No,
make
for
an
sure.
actual sincere effort to balance out what they're trying to pay for with, because Democrats also cut. Like, these people are not fucking socialists. These morons out here, the Stephen Millers, who will burn in hell, who are always like, Democrats are communists and social. Like, they're fucking not. They're corporate. Anyways, we can move on. Because I'm actually
the
really
last
interested in
one-
this last one. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I want to capture a still of one of the candidates looking goofy as hell. But yeah, go ahead and get us started here. I have some thoughts, but go ahead and get us started.
Well, so what spurred this was me seeing a post essentially where someone was like, sort of wistfully being nostalgic about the 2012 Romney-Obama debate and how polite they were, and look at how they
Sure.
treat each other. Like, sure, they disagree politically, but they have some mutual respect. And it was the post blew up with the sentiment of just like, look at how we used to be. And I just am not entirely convinced that this was a better time.
I actually agree with that. That's why I was interested in this conversation. I
Oh,
will
so
say,
we're
though.
just gonna... Yeah.
So you posted a first question. Why did this level of discourse between opponents fall out of favor with the general public? The easy answer is the internet. Do you disagree?
That's interesting. I am more of the opinion that the cynicism in the U.S. has risen to the level where they don't care that politicians be polite anymore.
But why?
Right, like-
What caused that? It's the fucking
So-
internet. I mean, I could be wrong, dude. I just feel like the internet has...
Well, explain more. Explain.
For me, yes. I feel like the internet has allowed people that otherwise... And dude, this is me bullshitting. Okay, let's be clear here. But I feel like
Sure.
it used to be that even if you had weird feelings, like you had hateful opinions... Okay, maybe this is post-civil rights era. You weren't readily able to, in your immediate zone in society, your day-to-day life, find refuge for, like, shitty, hateful ideas. And so, like, I feel like that slimmed down the energy in any sort of extremist movement, and then that would necessarily expand the amount of more moderate, connected to reality people that you had, as opposed to today where you're slimmed down on the moderate, connected to reality people, because people who might be more extremists can just go online and have their feelings supported, because it's all about community, man. And that's a correct thing about human beings forever. So if you can find a community that makes you feel supported, like I'll never forget watching a Vice documentary back in the day when incels started to be a thing. So this is a while ago now. And they interviewed this guy that just sat in a literally single one room with a bed and a computer and just enough to cook like ramen, and he was like living off welfare and told and interviewed and was just like, all I do is sit here and I log on and I like connect with my community and we just like bullshit. And so like this man, and like I'm not going to get into his views, he was like really weird and extreme again. And this man was able to sit in his room instead of being forced to like interact with society in some way. I don't even care about the welfare. I support people having their basic needs met. He was living in a fucking room with one bed. Anybody who would complain that he's taking from society can go fuck themselves, even though he was a hateful shitbag. People should have their basic needs supported. But he was able to just sit in the room, never leave, but feel supported because he could log on. And these other people who also felt this incel-y way, in this very weird, violent, like shitty way. He was able to just be that, able to live that life because of that support. Whereas, like, you take 100 of those people, what might happen if they don't have that support? Because it was sad as fuck, man. In this interview, this guy would be like, "Oh, I'll log on some days," and like someone might have taken their life the night before. Like, this is what we're, So, that's where it comes from. I know, not scientific at all. Fuck me, it's just my experiences, which is true. But yeah, I feel like
I do agree. Yeah. To some extent, the internet has just dragged Discord down as a whole, and I have seen that Vice documentary actually. When you said that,
he's like smoking cigarettes in that room.
Yeah,
he's got a bed and a computer. That's it. Like,
well, it's like a female Vice reporter too, which makes the whole dynamic interesting, right? Because like they hate women, so
yeah.
But he's like weirdly polite and nice.
He
and it's
is.
Like, how are you
right?
How are you in such a weird, hateful space? Like, how is this your every single day existence? That's crazy to me. Like, if you could just, it just feels like such a waste to live
and
like.
All that being said, the reason I actually thought this would be a good conversation is because all that being said, I still think this discourse that you shared, this YouTube video of Obama-Romney first debate, is insincere and shitty too. I think that they're. I think when I watched this right before we got on, it just. And it's not just this debate. It's whoever. It's like for some reason it's just like maybe more lawyers or like people who think it's polished. I don't know. It just. I've always thought that you could be the kind of politician, and Fetterman kind of was, but he's a little more sloppy than he needs to be. But you could be the politician that connects with people really well, but wears jeans and just collared shirts all the time, and nobody would give a shit. So I don't know what the obsession is with how you look and how you speak. Because a lot of people have tried to be Obama copycats with how they talk since then. You ever notice that? It's annoying as shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to remember who used to do that. I feel like Pete Buttigieg used to do that a little bit, but
I feel like somehow he's learned how to be more sincere since he ran and turned me off in 2020. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyways.
Yeah, he's come some way for sure.
But it's the sincerity, right? There we go. I should just say that. That's what it all sums up to. It's like the sincerity.
Yeah.
You have to have that sincerity. And there's something about this debate where even Obama doesn't come across to me as like in his actual sincere person talking. And it felt like you felt that way too. So that's why
Obama?
No, just in general. You started with saying this stuff is not. And I agree with you. It's like it's not.
If it's insincere. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's not. It's not sincere.
I do think another piece of that puzzle, because while online rhetoric has just dragged us all down a little bit in general, just the nature of like the model of how online discourse is generated, I do think that people got sick of the polite discourse because they were feeling so much pain in their day-to-day lives, and it's like somebody smiling at you after having just set fire to your house and like being polite. You know what I mean? It just something about it rings so hollow when my day-to-day experience is paycheck to paycheck, healthcare isn't guaranteed, jobs are shrinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my small town is dying. Walmart's replacing every storefront.
That's a good point. It's I don't think these people are as plugged into the actual common fucking person as they should be. And I mean, by the time they're on a debate stage as a presidential candidate, let alone all the other stuff we've said here, these people run in circles that are more disconnected from reality. So, like, on the one hand, I don't really blame them, but, like, you gotta, I don't know, like, a true leader would who knows what we would do if we were in the position. But a true leader would not shun necessarily being like somewhat wealthy, but would shun the trappings of life to really try to like make what's best of the society. And it doesn't feel like that's what this is, you know, at all. So, yeah.
I think it's part of what gave Trump his push, because he stopped the polite discourse, and like people responded really well to that.
I think one side of people responded really well to that, and I think he's been able to capture the base of that side so well to win the 2 elections. But I don't think he, and I know you agree, I don't think he is like the good side of that at all. He's like the shitty, like, cult-like side of it.
Yeah. When he tells journalists they're like mean-spirited for asking a legitimate fucking question, it's like, all right, you're not standing up against the establishment. You're just being a dick, and you don't want to answer for your administration.
Correct.
Like, what are you doing?
The last thing we should do here, and we'll end it. Who in our mind is the best politician that we can think of, and we'll just keep it to the United States, that actually does connect with the regular person through their choices, their verbiage, and the actions they take more than other politicians?
All time?
Whatever. What do you mean all time? Go ahead.
I'm always a fan of Teddy Roosevelt. Forever will be a fan of Teddy Roosevelt.
FDR has always been my favorite president. But that's okay. Let's do a contemporary then.
Okay.
Let's do a contemporary because like. Anyways, yeah.
It's funny too, because for a very brief period of time, I would have said John Fetterman, and that point of time is so far behind us now.
But we're sickos. We knew John Fetterman when he was a mayor of Bradford, Pennsylvania. So
that's right, yeah.
Because he was such a different kind of Democrat, and I was like, wow, that will work. Yeah, right.
Pre-stroke.
Pre-stroke, right. He probably got on our radar, honestly. You tell me. He probably got on both our radars post-Trump, because anytime what's happening in society will also shift how you think about winning. So I was like, oh, the Fettermans in the Trump era, I think.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. Yeah. It felt like a breath of fresh air in the Trump era.
Not Fetterman today, though. Bernie's up there. You know, I'm trying to think if I can think of anyone real better than Bernie. I'm not gonna count the Mom Donnies yet, because you have to have actions too. Let's have actions. We're not just gonna have campaigns.
That's way too premature.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, not for nothing, Obama was very charismatic, and he certainly had humble beginnings.
But how connected do you feel like he was to the common man with his decision making, what he did? I just don't think it was great. I think he tried to compromise between the common man and the interests, and that's the best we've gotten. Right, and that's the best we've gotten for the common man.
Jimmy
Carter, I know Biden actually.
A good answer.
No, Biden was actually. I'm not even gonna say him or because but the things that happened in the Biden era probably better than either 4 years of Obama. But again, does it feel like Biden like truly common man connected on every? No.
I mean, if you're going contemporary, Bernie really is my best bet.
Just Bernie. I cannot think.
Also, part of that answer is I don't know a lot of other politicians.
Tim Walz not bad. Like Tim Walz. Now I'm just trying to think.
Tim Walz is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Walz is fine.
I live where I live, and I don't like Kathy Hochul. She can get lost. We'll be voting against her in the primary. You've heard it first here.
Hasn't that come and gone? Or wait, when is her election?
Well, the obvious too is AOC is up there. I think AOC. I don't give a crap. I wonder how people feel about her even like almost 8 years after. 2026 will be 8 years. Yeah. But she still does a good job. Absolutely being plugged in.
Yeah. We mentioned Buttigieg. He's fine. I'm trying to think of somebody on the right who has what I would deem like humble beginnings, or is at least plugged in with the people, and I cannot think of many. Right? I mean, I will
say off the top of my head, I actually do respect anyone, even if I disagree with them on so many levels, I respect anyone who has the courage to actually vote the way they are and represent themselves in their district. And I think Thomas Massey, dude, politically, we fucking would absolutely stab each other in the heart. But don't how do you feel about him? Don't you have a little respect where it's like, no, I'm going to go ahead and vote the way that I do in my principles. And when it goes against your party at that level, I think that takes some good part of you somehow. What do you think?
I honestly am not super familiar with him. The most that I know about him is he didn't vote for Trump's big beautiful bill. That's the most I know about him.
And like, I just think he actually does have principles he stands on. I think he's proven to me, even though politically we are opposite, that he actually does come from a place that it's like sound. The same place. It's not like, it doesn't feel grifty at all. It's the same place, the same values, the same principles. It's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what you mean by I don't know much about him either. I just know that if you buck the Republican Party and you have Republican, it's a pretty big deal these days, just because of what's
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
Trying to think, did Rand Paul vote for the big beautiful
No.
bill?
Nope.
No.
And I have some respect for that vote.
He's principled when it comes to financial things. Not much else, to be fair, but
No, true. He gets, yeah,
I'll give him credit for that
sure.
because he's actually fiscally conservative. Yeah, there's not many, and some would say that's part of the problem. Cyril.
Most would say, all would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like people got tired of being politely spoken to when things weren't going great in their American experience.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
not
do think
even,
too.
that's not the right way to put it. People don't want to be bullshitted. Like, you can still say things not like an asshole, but like, you got to be honest about what's happening.
Yeah, I think people also get a great deal of gratification from, like, Trump being on the debate stage in 2016. Early on, he was giving shit to politicians. He was like calling out corruption right to their face.
Yes, and that was
Which
different.
people love that.
But he was also like accusing reporters of having periods and being upset. So he was he's an all over the place.
Over the shop.
But that's how you know his instincts like are not terrible, because even the bullshit that he did comes from, you know.
I'm just
Which,
saying,
let's
if
wrap
Bernie
it up, but
did
like
the same,
circle back
Bernie
that
did
to
the same.
Circle that back to, unless it's the last thing and we'll stop. The Epstein thing, where it's like we just said Trump. I've always felt Trump, even at his worst politically, somehow either you felt like he was going to get away with, or you knew that he was navigating how his base and exactly how he should navigate this, being who he is. He did it every time, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be so fascinated to see how this plays out over the next X amount of time, because it's just different.
Yeah.
It's different. I
really hope this really is the thing that pushes the needle. I'm also not convinced that in 5 weeks' time, MAGA is going to be onto something else. I don't know.
I don't believe that.
I don't know.
But we wish people would open their eyes.
We do wish that. Call people out for being shitbags.
Sometimes don't you step back? You either read a scam that someone got involved with, or you kind of think about the things that people believe, and you're just like, how do people not like? How do people not like know this is bullshit? Like, I was watching. What was I watching today? I don't even remember. I was watching something on the drive home, and it was, some more news. Have you ever seen some more news YouTube channel? I watched some video called The Right Lies a Bunch 2025 edition, like whatever. And one of the lies was there's a Facebook page that in their like description on their page it says like nothing here is real, but they post things that conservatives lap up. Like they posted when Elon Musk was talking about Social Security fraud, or when Social Security fraud was being kind of talked about, they posted that like AOC had been like cashing in her dead grandma's checks for years, and like she had been committing Social Security fraud. They posted like Jasmine Crockett did the same thing. So
sure.
Like Like that shit is and then people lap it up. They share that bullshit and they
People
believe
lap
it.
Yeah.
Not good, dude. Not good. Anyways.
Hey,
All right.
AI is just gonna make it worse. Good luck, everyone.
It is, dude. Exactly.
Good luck,
You're just
everybody.
building on this point, homie. It's not. Yeah,
We're
it's
fucked.
bad. It's bad.
Get
I don't
smart
know
or
that
die
we're
to the
fucked.
robots.
I always believe in somehow
Fuck.
humanity pulling it out, not without casualty. Come on now, don't quote me on that. But yeah, somehow
can I throw
life will...
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was just gonna completely change gears and say that I'm officially on the economy is going to go fucking weird within the next 3 years train, and it's not gonna be great.
3 months?
Just wanted to immortalize that. 3 years. 3 years.
Oh, I think by the time this 4-year administration is ending, oh yeah, it's gonna be tough. You cannot play games.
I think we're gonna see a massive
dude. Even if you
contraction.
don't ever implement a tariff that necessarily does things that are like so damaging that it moves the whole economy, when you play games like this, nobody can plan anything, and trading relationships are broken down. And that alone, people will feel the impact. Will. And I don't know.
Well, also, yeah. Well, I just feel like faith in the dollar is...
The dollar's value is plummeting, dude.
It is. It's not great. But I do think... I don't know what's his face. The leader of the Federal Reserve.
Jerome Powell. J. Powell.
Jerome Powell. There we go.
J. Powell,
his tenure is up in like 14 months, something like that.
May 2026.
And the second that guy is out, Trump is going to put in somebody who just hits the print button, I think. So it might get weird.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's a good point. If it doesn't happen by May 2026, I wonder... And look, I'm still shocked to this day how many people don't know Trump for what he is, even though we've seen this fucking movie time and time again. But I wonder, since you would think the Fed Reserve high-ups, J. Powell, they know who Trump is and what Trump will do. I wonder if they talk behind the scenes, if there's anything they could even possibly do to just, like, not have someone come in and say rates are now 0, have fun. Like,
could you fucking imagine?
Dude.
Oh, my God.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
Crazy,
and there's no way that would happen, right? But... If you have somebody who comes in and just starts swinging percentage points every 2 months...
all of a sudden, we were America for 250 years. All of a sudden, we're just another Latin American economy. You blink. You know what I'm saying? And it's bad.
Blink, your money's worthless, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Monopoly money, baby. You better keep it flowing.
And also, just the weird trends with the way the stock market keeps growing, despite... like some flashing red signs is just such a weird thing to me. I just feel like we're due for a massive correction.
There's some stats behind that can explain it. And I'm not saying it's the whole thing or even a part of the thing. But there's been a lot of reporting because people actually can see like numbers of retail investors versus like institutional. Retail investors are propping up.
That sounds about right.
This day and age, yeah.
That does sound right.
And it's not even because they're like Trump fans and they're doing that for Trump. No, it's just in the internet age, investing. If you go on YouTube anywhere, they're investing is such a big thing and there's a lot of scam artists out there about it. But it's just such like a big narrative now, and like I think more people are
so
into
interesting.
Retail level and
But like, how long can retail prop it up before things contract and now retail has no more money to invest?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Right?
You know it. I know it. Oh yeah.
So when retail runs out of that free cash or like whatever cash they have available to invest, like, does that just is that like a bubble collapsing? Like, what does that even mean? It's weird.
Yes, if it happens that way, yeah. The thing about economies is economies are, especially ours. It is complicated and deep. So
yeah,
nobody can ever pinpoint when it would happen. There's plenty of times where people think it should happen. And when it does happen, it'll actually happen in a snap, but nobody will be able to pinpoint it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a contradictory. Yeah.
Well, I am convinced that snap is coming within the next... Before Trump is out of office, I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
There is going to be and we're going to see where we come out the other side of that. So
Listen, we'll all enjoy
just like
buying our U.S. products at 20 times the price. Go ahead.
Listen, let me ask you this, Si. Does your kid need 30 dolls or just one doll? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Well, since I'm a gay man and I have 0 kids, I would take $2
Wow.
for the sacrifice of the motherland.
There
I
you
will
go.
slim down my doll collection, just for you.
We appreciate that.
All right.